What's up, traders? This is Vee Trades, and today I will be doing a technical analysis breakdown for Redfin Corporation with the ticker symbol RDFN. This was a viewer's request, and thank you for your donation. I will first be going over what I see on the daily chart and finish the video off with the weekly chart. Remember guys, this video is for entertainment purposes only. Please trade at your own risk. So let's take a look at the chart. I already marked it up to save some time. So let's go over what Redfin has been doing for the past year or two. So back here in November of 2022, it had a bottom. It looks like it's a temporary bottom as right now. We'll see if it's permanent in the future. But momentarily, it's holding as support at the 370s, 380s. Led to a nice rally up to the 1755 level, and then price got rejected and almost went back down to the prior low. And then it somehow found support at the mid $4 level, rallied up all the way to the $11 level, and now just recently it traveled back down to the $5.17 level. Then we saw a push up higher again to the $8.30 level, and now it looks like it's headed down, possibly lower. So what's going on in this chart? Well, I'm seeing higher lows. That's why I drew this bottom trend line on the chart. You see that price is making a higher low after every bottom. This low right here, we had a higher low, and now we had a recent higher low. But at the same time, we're seeing lower highs. So right over here is a lower high, and then right over here is a lower high, and then right over here is a lower high. So we're seeing some strong bearish momentum and a slight bullish momentum. So as of right now, I would say there's a bearish imbalance going on, meaning there's more aggressive sellers in the market than buyers. Why? Because we're making those lower highs, and also you could look at it in the sense that price is bouncing off this trend line, but barely going up. So you see that price bounced off the trend line and went up all the way to the $11 level. But in this instance right here, price bounced off the trend line and it only went up to the $8.50 level. So it shows weakness by the bulls and selling strength. So drawing tools just help you visualize what's going on between the buyers and sellers. At the end of the day, that's all you care about, buyers and sellers. The imbalance or the balance between buyers and sellers. All this drawings and tools just helps you visualize what's going on. For example, I drew the trend line on here, but I can remove the trend line and you can still see that there is a slight bullish balance going on, imbalance going on at the lows because price is making higher lows. But if I just put the trend line on here, it helps you visualize it cleaner. So it's just quicker and helps you analyze the chart price faster. So anyway, what do we see? Well, we see lower highs, higher lows. Price did break this downward trend line right over here, which is a good bullish sign. However, it looks like it's dropping down pretty sharply. Whenever you see a price move up quickly and then drop back down sharply, a lot of times it comes right back to the starting point. And if it comes back to the starting point, that'll be the $5.13 level. So since we're still below this trend line, I have to say that price has a good chance of reaching that level because we're below this trend line right over here. But we are at some sort of micro support level, at the 626, 630. So we'll see if that level holds. If that level holds, then we could probably see another large push up higher. If it fails, there's not a lot of support between here and back down to the $5.18 level, which is right where that trend line is also. So as of right now, is a good chance of breaking down lower. So where are my targets? Let's say we do hold as support, and let's say we break down lower. Where are my targets? Well, if we hang out as support, I can use the previous leg to forecast what the next leg would be, and that would take price to the $11.94 level. These are highly accurate targets. It's not guaranteed to get there. That's only if price is headed there. But these are highly accurate targets. Market generally moves in twos. So if price moved this much in the past, there's a good chance of moving the same amount in the future. So we saw the first attempt by the bulls to reach it. That failed because it stopped at the mid $8 level to reach that target, and price sold off. So if it finds support here, we can see the final or the second attempt to reach that $11.84 level. Now let's say we break this micro support level, we stay below this trend line right over here, and we also break this trend line, slight upward trend line in play. Well, where are we going? Well, I have to use the previous impulse as the next possible impulse. So this is one leg right here. This is the second leg. Leg and impulse can be used interchangeably, and that will take price back down to the $2.40 level, 47 cents level. So again, we have two targets in play. Reason being is that we're making higher lows and lower highs, so there's some indecision going on over here. We'll see which one wins out. It all depends on this support and this little trend line right over here. that upward trend line. If they fail, this is a good chance price is gonna quickly fall back down. I wouldn't say quickly, but there's a good chance, a high probability, it will continue to trend down towards the all-time lows and possibly make a new one at the $2.40 level. Now let's say we stop right here and all of a sudden we see a break of that downward trend line. There's a good chance price is gonna not maybe rally right away, but maybe like break it, pull back, and then probably rally higher. Back up to, I would say, at least double digits. $10, $11 level is not out of the question, even 12. So it depends what we do over here. But as right now, if I were to say which one is more likely to occur, it's probably the downside. Why? Because look at the lower highs. They're very steep versus the higher lows are just shallow. So they're showing a lot of strength towards the downside. So most likely, we're going to probably see price, break these support levels, the trend line, and possibly reach the mid measurable target in the mid $2 level. Let's take a look at the weekly chart for a long-term view. Has more data to analyze. So you see that price was range bound, since its IPO 2017 up until about 2018, where I had a failed breakout of this support. There was a lot of support at this 1494 level. Price had a failed breakout, meaning it could not go down lower. Immediately reversed, went into a bubble. Why was it a bubble? Because it got overextended from that EMA. A lot of times price will snap back to it, and then basically a measure move target was also reached. You can see that this was one leg up right here. How do we measure this possible second target? We'll use the prior leg. You drag it up. You see that price reached the target, 83.85. It wasn't perfect, but it was very close. Probably the best thing you can use to find the target. Even a channel can help. So you could draw a channel off the swing lows, drag it up to the highs. Price even overshot the top side of the channel. So it was looking like an overshoot, an overextension. So a lot of reasons why. EMA target, we had the EMA overextended, price overextended from it. You had the channel overextended, measurement target overextended from it. That's what led to that major sell-off. And a lot of times, like I said before, on the daily chart, whenever we see a large move up and then a strong selling followed by it, there's a good chance it's coming right back where it started. Here's an example right over here. And then we have another example right over here. All this is one big example right over here. Another example right over here. And another example just shortly, just in the short term. So, plays out on different sizes, different time frames, different markets. The same pattern plays out. So now, since we're below that 1494, which was prior support, that's a bad sign because we cannot find support from prior support. This was prior support. Price broke through it and then pulled back and found resistance from that level. So it's holding as resistance now, and the bears are trying to continue to drive down that price. You can see that last week was a tail bar. So let me go and move this arrow. So you see that's a tail bar. A lot of times they can mark tops. They mark reversal areas. So for example, you can see there was a tail bar right over here. That led to the strong selling. A lot tail bar right here. More tail bars right over here. And now we just saw a tail bar. Now again, I don't care about candles too much, but with context, they are very powerful. So with the context that we're making lower highs, we have a very slight incline uptrend, you could say. There's a good chance the bears can break that, because last week was, you could say, bearish because price traded all the way up here, but sellers brought it back down to close the candle body low from where it traded. So that shows bearish momentum, followed by more bearish momentum. So this week most likely will also finish red. So there's a good chance with everything I see on the chart. It's not a 50-50. I would say it's a 60-40. There's a good chance 60% we do break this support that we're currently at. It's very micro, not strong enough to probably hold the price. Break that upward trend line. It's not guaranteed, but it looks like it can. And if we do break it, we're going to come back down to the all-time lows, possibly the $2.40 level. So that's what I think can happen. Now let's say that doesn't happen. Well, what can stop it? Well, the bottom trend line can stop it. If we bounce from the bottom trend line, like as before, we could see another push up higher towards that $11.92 level, because it's not out of play yet. So we had that previous impulse right over here. This is the second impulse. It would be only invalidated if we break the $5 level, because this trend line can stop the price from dropping. That would create a higher low, and then that could bounce prices off of it. So again, just because I think it's going to break down lower doesn't mean it's guaranteed to break down lower. and we have to see what happens around this level right over here. But as right now, with everything I see on the chart, it's more bearish than bullish, and I expect a breakdown to occur, and that would take price to the mid $2 level. We'd have to just wait and see. If I see a strong buying, then the downward target becomes invalidated, and that upward target becomes more of a reality, towards the 11.93 $12 level. So all I have for Redfin Corporation on the daily weekly charts. If you have any more questions, please leave in the comments down below. This is Vee Trades, and thank you for your time.